Hey guys, still here and welcome back to Mars Horizon. In the previous episode I built the ISS, all three modules are online and they're still generating quite a bit of support and quite a bit of science. In the meanwhile, I have been working away on launching, or rather preparing new missions for launch. And the first one's going to be to Neptune. It's almost the far edge of the solar system. The next part is going to be Pluto, but in order to get there I would first have to go through the science tree and unlock, I think everything. Where was it again? Yeah, here, Pluto Flyby. You can get a lot of science out of it and a decent science reward or support reward, but damn, that's a lot of missions that you have to unlock. So, first up, we're going to launch the mission to Neptune, or depending on how you want to put it. Weather conditions, not ideal. Let's reschedule that and see if we can get some better weather soon. November might be nice. The year is now November 1992, or rather October currently, and we're progressing quite well, I'd say. 1990s is when the ISS started launching, I looked that up, and this means that we're actually well ahead on that part. Now it looks like 87 months is how long it's going to take these guys to arrive. We're going to be potentially in second place if everything goes according to plan. Continue, get ready to launch. Nice. Okay. Now, I'm going to let the auto-resolve work away on completing this part of the mission. Or not. Normally you can get this button on the bottom left-hand side that says, hey, do you want to auto-resolve this? And that's, especially for the easier, less interesting missions, the one that I go for. But apparently not this time around. Now, I need to generate a ton of thrust. 32. Fortunately, it only decays by 1 per turn. In order to get thrust, I need to get navigational units and data. So let's start working on getting this thing up, because that's going to take quite a few turns to get to 32. And then the next one, let's get more nav. It's a fairly reliable payload this time around, so I'm not too concerned about having to spend too much power on malfunctions. Of course there will be one every once in a while. But there is a problem with another part, and that's that I now ran out of power. So I would have to generate more power, then generate data, and then do the thrust again. Power, data, and then, well, keep progressing like that through the next turns. And unfortunately, I can't quite resist this that well, because I might run out of power to do... Yeah, there we go. No command. And that means no thrust. Generate 3 power. And then spend that on getting a bit more nav. And spend a bit of data to generate a bit more thrust. Payload's not... Oh, damn it. It's not as reliable as I'd hoped. Thruster burn complete. Okay, we got the base requirements settled. I still have 2 turns left, so that's 10 commands in total to finish up the rest of the mission. It's not going to be terribly easy, I think. Because in order to generate 32 thrust, I would have to do this thing 3 times. And I don't think I have the power to do that. Nope, no thrust was generated. Okay, I have 12. I don't really see a path to 32, because the only way to do that is to generate data. I could do it twice. I would have to do it twice more, and that means I don't have the power to get up to 12 again. Because I don't have the power to generate this, I don't have the power to generate data, so I'm just going to say complete the task without the bonuses. So, the Voyager is underway, and we're going to head to Neptune. Alright, what else are we up to? Well, we have a Jupiter flyby coming up. We are not even the last ones to do it, but we're not going to be getting any one of the landmarks, unfortunately. Another mission that might be interesting to follow along with is the Centrifuge module, which is something I'm going to be adding to the ISS. And this is a modular design, so I can just add it to the ISS as is. And it's going to generate 7,220 science. So it is rather important that this thing goes well. Launch reliability, it looks good, 98%. And I have 2 scientists on board to ensure that I get even more science out of the mission. Ideally, of course, I would also get a 50% bonus, just to ensure that I get the maximum reward out of the entirety of the mission. So, let's get into orbit. I like how the ISS is in the background. We need to do, in 20 actions, 48 comms. Jesus. 8 data and 8 nav. Jesus, that's a ton. And we need to counteract all of that drift. In order to counteract drift, I can use my astronauts. And that also gives me a few of the base resources. And then let's start using a bit of power to start working towards getting the comms that I need. There we go. Good work. Manual data collection yielded an additional 2 nav. And the other manual data collection failed. So let's resist that effect and make sure that I can get the bonuses from that. Right. And another one, an additional data. Good. Puts me at the base requirements for the data. I'm not even a quarter on the way. Or well, sorry, yeah, I am a quarter on the way. I'm about, yeah, just over a quarter of what I need to get the bonus. So, let's once again get rid of all of this drift. And we're going to have even a bit too much drift. Spend a bit of that, and then we're at... Or no, we're not at the objective, but at least we've passed the base objective. Ah. Data collection is hard, apparently, because this is the second time that it's failed. And the real-time comms also fails. Come on. Gotta resist that. I need those resources. Alright, that's 30 out of 24, 5 out of 5, and 0 out of 5. 3 turns remaining. The drift is perfect as of right now, but I will probably be messing with that a little bit more. The only way to get rid of drift, excess drift, is this one. Not terribly big of a fan of that. If I want to get all of the stuff that I need, I would first need to get 1 more unit of nav, and then do this 3 times. Okay. Spend this. Do this one. Oh, I cannot do that one once because I spent... Oh, I only have 2 crew members. That's the problem. I only have 2 crew members. Let's see. If I get the comms... So do that one. That generates the data that I need, and I can spend some of the data on some of the other resources. Let's start generating a bit of that. And unfortunately, I forgot to close down my Facebook, so that ping was my Facebook, instead of you casually or hastily running over to your Facebook and going, "What was that?" No, that was me. Right, drift still good. This one's going to be 1, 2, and that's no longer the data that I need. Okay, and then that one. It's going to generate a bit more comms than what I need, but that's fine because I can still transmute that. Okay, now I can use comms to generate more nav. And the drift is fine. So I can get this to... whoa, there. And then I need to generate a bit more data. Hold on. Not quite satisfied with that result. This one. And then... generate power, do that one. And can I do that one again? Yes, but nothing... No, I can't. Because I'm spending too much. Crap. Would just put me 1 unit of comms below what I need. Okay, if I do this one, I spent 1 data, I get 6 nav. If I then spend I could spend comms on drift, but I don't want drift. I'm perfectly happy with the way that the drift is right now. And then spend 2 on this. Ah, I don't really see it. I would really like it if there's a path, but I can't quite spot it because I don't have the power for it. What's the trick here? That's 4 data. That's the data that I need. Generate power. I'm gonna get to 7, not to 8. This one outputs a lot. A lot of nav. That need to do one more. But I cannot spend comms on data. That's the problem. I cannot spend comms on data. Except for this one, but that would again increase my drift. And it's not like I can do this and... well... no. I don't think I can get the bonus objective here. I spent too much time on gathering comms and not enough time on gathering the other resources. And that's my mistake. In fact, I have to keep an eye on just generating the base resources, otherwise I'm going to be in trouble. That's the base resources, and then just use 2 power. So that I can counteract any problem. Oh. Additional data, that's nice. Flight path control fails. Oh well, not so much a bonus, but nevertheless, we got quite a bit of science out of that. 361 for 20 months, and we get advanced directional stabilization, which is one more upgrade that I can install on my spacecraft. Welcome back to the Jupiter flyby phase. We're going to try and get some more information on Jupiter. We need to initiate data collection. In order to do that, we're going to need quite a bit of resources as usual, and I also have to keep in mind that radiation causes minus 5% payload reliability at the end of each turn. That's problematic. So if this does not go down, as I'm reading it, it's going to mean that my ship is going to pretty quickly deteriorate. So I need to keep that as low as possible to ensure that the craft doesn't just fail on me flat out. I have quite a lot of turns, so let's use those turns and get to the point where we get the bonus reward, the bonus science. That one fails. That's not great. Radiation check. Still 72% payload reliability. Good. But, once again, we generate 2 radiation. If I use data and radiation, I can get quite a bit of the resources. That would immediately put me at the base resources complete, not use any power this turn, and reduce my radiation problem. And it fails. Come on, do it again. That's better. Alright, so that's 12 and 6. That's 12 out of the 12 that I need, 6 out of the 12 that I need, and data is absolutely nothing. So, once again, use this, use this one, and unfortunately, without the extra power, I'll not be able to keep the same payload reliability. I think I'm going to have to sacrifice payload reliability at some point anyway. So let's start by getting at least a 5% reduction. Ah, crap. Fine, I'll accept it because I don't have the power to resist it. Yeah, the payload just took a hit. I'm a little bit less happy with the performance of this craft now. 2 turns remaining. Let's... well, again, do I need to spend data? Yes, I can. Because then I can use power and energy, or sorry, power and nav to get up to the base level of data. And then do that again. I'll have excess comms, but at least I won't damage the spacecraft as much. I'll accept the result. Oh, that's better. So we're only going to take a 5% hit to radiation, or to payload reliability, down to 62% now. Yikes. I don't like that much. Last turn. I don't really see a path to get all the stuff that I need. 1, 2... well, that's it. That would do it. I can only resist a negative event once. That's kind of a problem. Oh! Yep, just about. And that one fails, but now I can resist it. Haha. Bonus reward achieved. And Voyager hurls towards Saturn. Oh, sorry, where are we going? Jupiter. Close enough. Jupiter flyby, 4th to do it. Milestone achieved. 650, no, make that 975 science for 5 months. Okay, let's continue on. Alright, the next mission. I have given the go-ahead on the Grand Tour. This ambitious mission will launch a long-range, nuclear-powered probe with a carefully designed trajectory, allowing it to visit Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. After these encounters, the probe will continue on into interplanetary space, leaving the solar system entirely. I have started building the payload. Nobody else has even gotten the research ready. There is a nice bonus for for support if I can get the milestone. And it generates a bunch of support. Now, I still need a lot more in order to get to the next tier, but I'm actually quite happy with the amount of funds that I'm getting each month. I just don't know if I can actually launch it. I have quite a few of the parts already researched, and I'm hoping that that's going to be enough. Welcome to the launch of the Grand Tour. No, it's not that Grand Tour. We're not playing Top Gear here. We are playing Mars Horizon. I am looking at a 75% payload reliability and a 98% launch reliability. So I'm pretty sure that this thing is going to make it to space. How well it's going to perform in space, that remains to be seen. So let's see if this thing is going to get a bonus upon launch, which would be really nice. Continue. Get ready to launch. And what are we getting? Nope. No bonuses here. +1 and +2. Athena's still not terribly reliable. Now, probably because this is a milestone mission, I cannot auto-resolve it. So once again, we're going to have to do this manually. We're going to have to enter into a Jupiter transfer orbit. And in order to do that, I'll need 15 thrust, ideally. 8 if I go for minimal. And I'm going to be losing a bit of thrust every single turn. So, again, use the thrust only in the later phase. Data is an intermittent resource. If I get data, I can then use data to generate thrust. So it's not like I can just safely ignore it, because it's the only way to get thrust. Let's go for a few of the base resources first. And then see what the most efficient transition is going to be. Probably this one. 3 nav for 6 comms. And I'll get 1 more power back. Payload reliability is decent. But, as I was expecting, there will be some failures. Yep, that's another one. Resist that. That's the last of my power gone. Okay. So I have already achieved the base requirement for comms. If I want to get more, I need to get 15. First, we're going to have to generate quite a bit of power here. And then, let's go for this one. And generate another power. So I'm generating a lot of power, but mostly because on the previous turn I spent so much of it. Alright, I'll need another one of this, because then I can start transmuting that into the other resources that I will inevitably need. Hold on, that's going to give me 14 out of 15. Now we'll counteract that later. Do it again. It's going to give me a ton of data. Yeah, that's fine. Now, there are probably more efficient ways for me to do it, but to be fair, I am getting... Oh, crap. I'm getting quite bored with the minigames, so ideally I would just use the auto-resolve feature, but I can't, because I have to do the mission. It's a mission requirement, or rather, it's something that the game requires me to do, because it's a milestone mission that cannot simply be auto-resolved. I mean, that makes sense. You want your players to actually partake in the game in order to achieve some of the rewards, but still. Now, last turn, I need to generate at least nav data. The rest of it is probably pretty screwed up at this point, because I'm not going to get to 20, I'm not going to get to 15, and I'm not going to get to 15 thrust either. I could try to get there, but I don't see how I'm going to have a path to 20 nav. So let's just do this and generate a bit of power and call it even. At this point I don't even care about the bonus rewards that much. I just want to continue on with the missions. And that's, again, a bit of the split in this game. I like seeing my space agency progress. I like getting new milestones achieved. But the minigame just becomes tedious and boring. Anyway, let's pause the recording for a bit more and wait for the next phase of, well, any of the operations. Welcome back to another milestone mission. We're going to launch the Space Telescope. And there is a lot of signs up for grabs, 9,720. So let's make sure that Hubble makes it into space. Launch reliability looks good. Here we go.
4, 3, 2, 1. We have liftoff.
Looks to be decent. Ah, not even in the bonus section. Come on. Saturn 4 and 2 have gotten their final rewards. It's the best reliability that I'm going to get out of these things. 9, 9 and drifts. Very good. In order to get that, I would also have to keep an eye on data. Data allows me to get drift / counteract it. Understood. Bonus reward of 25%. Let's see, if I get data and I get a bit of this, I can do a bit of that. I'm going to get -2 drift every turn. That's pretty substantial. Oh, that's a great start. I'm going to have to counteract a lot of that drift continuously, because I cannot just ignore it until, let's say, the end of the turn, or the end of the round. Bonus is going to take another 9. Science, or sorry, data. Counteract the drift. Do it again. It's going to give me even more than what I need. So it's going to counteract any future drift. And let's generate one more data in preparation for the next turn. Ah, lovely. Go on then. That's better. Now, that's not great because we didn't have enough power, I think. Drift's looking good. We already have the base requirements complete. But this mission has the potential to generate so much science that I would really, really like to get the bonus rewards. You know what? We're going to generate one more data here. Ah, that means I have no power to counteract any negative events. Hold on. 2 power, 1 data, there. Done. Okay, now this one, counteract the drift. And then spend 2 actions here and 1 on power for reserve. Completed. Gyroscopic stabilization. Location extrapolation failed. Resist that effect. And then complete location extrapolation for the bonus reward. Job done. Alright, deploy space telescope systems. 5, 13 and drift, but in effect we're looking at 10, 26. And we're going to be generating -3 drift every turn. Sheesh. That is substantial. Okay, power. Counteract drift. Do it again. This is a fairly lucrative option every time. Let's do that again. Ugh. Come on, game. Just give me a break here. Better. And better. Okay, good. Now we still need a lot more. I can easily transmute quite a bit of this, as I don't need that resource, into comms. I would only need 10. And then I can transmute a bit of comms into data. So 1, 2, 3. And then another power for backup. Succeeded. Failed. Counteract. Succeeded. And that one didn't go through. Okay. 2 turns remain. I still need to get to 26. So the fastest way to do that is 1, 2, 3. And probably this one again. So to keep my drift fairly neutral. Go. 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 Perfect. Drift is now -3. But since I have a fairly high amount of data, I can counteract that. On this last turn, I have to. Then get a bit of power. Then use some of my nav to get some data. And some of the comms to use data. It's going to get me more data than I actually need. This one. Let's just generate another power for reserve. So that I can counteract any effects. Because they might happen. Oh, or not. It's even better than expected. There we go. Hubble online. That's a lot of science coming down from Hubble. 5th to achieve it. Complete Space Telescope. It was also a milestone objective, or a challenge objective. Minus 25% research for vehicles for 6 months. And a decent chunk of science for 120 months. That's 10 years that modifier is going to stay there. So, maybe not my best work, but still decent enough. Alright, so that's another couple of milestones complete. Next time we're going to go and have a look at a mission that I might be able to achieve by now. Because I have the research, I have the science, and hopefully I have the money. Because we're going to Mars, and we're going to deploy a robotic rover. So, more on that next time around. And until then, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and support me on Patreon if you can. And I'll see you soon for the next episode.